Good afternoon once again. Now we have our next session, that's United Opposition versus NDA. And we have a very interesting set of panelists lined up. We have Supriya Shrinte, who serves as the national spokesperson for the Indian National Congress. Prior to her foray into politics, she garnered 18 years of experience in journalism. She commenced her career at India Today and subsequently assumed the role of an assistant editor at NDTV. Now she is serving the Indian National Congress. I request Mrinal Talukdar to please felicitate her. We have Sajia Almi, who's formerly worked as a television journalist and anchor at Star News. She played a vital role in leading a media campaign advocating for an anti-corruption bill. She parted ways with Aam Aadmi Party and now she is the spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party. We welcome you, ma'am. Then there is Priyanka Kakkar as its new national chief spokesperson, succeeding Saurav Bharadwaj, who recently assumed the role of Health and Urban Development Minister. Prior to his appointment, Kakkar served as an advisor to Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh. Thank you, ma'am, for being a part of our panel. I now leave the stage to Mrinal Talukdar to commence our session. Thank you.
Thank you, Smitaxi. Thank you, all the co-panelists. Let us straight away come to the Q&A. People are waiting. We had a very fruitful morning session with Rahul Gandhi and then with the regional political situation. My first question is open to all, but initially it goes to Supriya Shrinte. What makes you so confident that the BJP is on their way out to general election and BJP equally feels that you are too weak and disjointed to give them a real fight to bring the tally below 300?
So thank you very much for having us all here, and it's always good to be on an all-women's panel. You are the micro-minority here, so thanks very, very much. And I think the other thing that I want to say is I was very thrilled with Rahulji's session, especially the rapid fire. I don't think he does too much of this, so it was good fun. You say, why are we confident?
Yes.
Let me ask this audience here. Do you remember that day of April 2011, if I'm right, in Wankhede, when Mahendra Singh Dhoni hit that six and followed it all the way past the boundary? The entire country erupted with joy. And each one of us, when we see somebody in the army or somebody from the defense or somebody from the police forces, India inspires confidence. And India always wins. That gives us the courage. I think we represent people. I think we represent causes. I think we represent the issues that really pertain to our people. People are not bothered about the hate speeches being delivered. People are least bothered about the hot air balloons that the government keeps floating. People are bothered about the real issues on the ground. And the real issues of our times is high prices, is unemployment, is income inequality, is a state like Manipur, which is burning and the government seems to have no solution, is the Adani scam that the government wants to turn a blind eye to, is the creation of monopolies. I think I have faith in what we stand for because it resonates with the people of this country.
Same question goes to Sajia. Probably, are they not too much overconfident? I think you can have an extra microphone here. There is one.
There is one. There is one.
Sajia, you had another mic there?
There is one mic here.
Yeah, sorry.
Ji, hai mere paas. Acha. That was hers.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for inviting us here. It's great to be again on an all-women's panel, especially after the historic legislation that we saw. So many congratulations to all the parties here who might say anything right now. in front of you all. But we know what they did in the parliament. We had built consensus in such a manner that though they really tried to again ensure that the passage of the bill into enactment does not happen, yet it happened. They had to be on the right side of history. So many congratulations to all of those who wanted this to happen, and all the girls out there and their families who really will get a level playing field for the first time and will have political empowerment in top places, Vidhan Sabhas and the parliament. So I really think it's a historic day. And thank you for choosing the panel in such a way that we women can express our leadership qualities.
So my question was to you, basically, was to Supriya also, that how do you think that are they so overconfident of throwing you out of the power in 2024? And then I'll come back to the question of the Women Reservation Bill. I do have some question on that.
So I think it's not about overconfidence. It's the seva bhavna. It is a service which has been done through governance, through good governance, which has led to a biggest ever vote bank. And that vote bank is beneficiary or labharti. In that vote bank, you will find women and men of different religions, of all castes, of all hues, whether it's scheduled tribes or scheduled castes. So those are labhartis. For the first time in India, we are seeing things that have never happened. 50 crore people are included through financial inclusion through Jan Dhan Yojana. For the first time, I mean, women's reservation was very important, but I actually feel that something very basic, like having Izzat Ghar or toilets for women, for India not to have the dubious distinction of being an open defecation, country, to be known as that, to be taken away, to have almost 12 crore toilets for women,
so with
to have 9 crore LPG connections only for women. So this is, when I say women obviously is families. When you look at something like Awas Yojana, when you look at water connections, you realize that, oh my God, what's happened? I'm not even beginning to talk about highways and roadways and airports and colleges and IITs and all of that. I'm just sticking to something very basic, something that should have happened many years back. So I think it is that seva and that samarpan which Bharatiya Janata Party has completely done for the masses, the poorest of the poor. I think it is all of those, which is why, and I was studying the data of vote shares, and I realized that whether it's Dalits, whether it's a women, whether it's the OBCs, and whether it's the economic classes, even the middle classes, even there, the lowest income group of the middle classes have all voted for BJP. And not once, but time and time again. So it is our confidence, is our seva, is our shram, which we have given to the people, and it is that love and vishwasniyata, that credibility that Prime Minister has, that might have brought, the fear of whose might have brought all the partners together, the warring factions of yesteryears. But the fact is that today it is Modi ji all on his own, full steam, with Bharat and India backing him.
So then a question to Priyanka. It seems that from the word of Sazia, a good cocktail of beneficiary, Hindutva and nationalism will be tossed out to the opposition so that they will win the election using this cocktail of beneficiary politics, Hindutva and nationalism. How do you counter that?
Good evening to everyone. Thank you for having me here. I would first like to begin with the narrative of the Women's Reservation Bill that ma'am mentioned before me.
Okay.
I think every one of us is very well aware that the Women's Reservation Bill cannot see the light of the day before 2039 in the least. The Women's Reservation Bill has excluded OBCs. These were the two objections that we raised, the India team raised, and these objections stand. So again, we have a government which has made an event of a women reservation bill, but you will not see the light of the day until 2039 at least, because the constitution does not permit you to do a delimitation until the first census after 2026. This is the 82nd amendment. This is the 82nd, Article 82. It was amended by Article 84 amendment, yes. So she's aware. So you will not see it before 2039. We want to celebrate that today very well. So we have this government which has made an event of everything, whether it was, say, the Ayushman Bharat Yojana. But then, and these were Pradhan Mantri Modi's words, that he wants to do Daridra Narayan ki seva. But then nobody's speaking about, the media's brushing aside the CAG scams that have been enlisted in the Ayushman Bharat Yojana. Nobody's seeing the fact, I mean, there are people have realized the way we have been tried to be fooled by, so I'll give you an example of just this Yojana, that if you earn over 10,000 rupees a month, you are excluded from this Yojana. You can only take benefit of this Yojana if you get admitted in a hospital, not if you need medications. So in contrast, I will have to say this, because Arvind Kejriwal model of governance is one government which spends 15% on, say, health sector, and it does not, I did not interrupt you, madam. I know BJP, it's difficult for them to listen. Man ki baat nahi karni, ma'am. Sunni bhi hai. So, I was saying that, for example, in the health sector, I come from a party which likes to spend on HDI. We like to invest in our people, because we believe unless you invest in human beings, you cannot grow. It's not possible to be developed. And what this government, the Modi Sarkar, has given us in the past so many years is that there was a report 4 days ago which said that...
But basically what, ma'am, you were trying to say, that what Supriya is also saying, that this has come kind of a betrayal for the entire women of India, of having a reservation in possibly in 2030 plus years,
Yes.
and not having now.
It cannot be. The law doesn't permit it. They don't tell you that.
Yeah,
Yes.
elimination, then the censors, it's not happening, and you have been quite forthright and very strong on that, very vocal against the whole process.
You know, I want to say two things about women's reservation, and then I'm going to talk to you about something that Shazia ji, my friend here, said. Women's reservation is a fight that half the country's population has fought fiercely for a while now. The government may have on its badge the fact that the women's reservation bill has passed, but like Priyanka ji said here, the reality is that women's reservation is not going to be on the ground, will not be implemented, not before 2039. And it is Article 82 and 81(3) of the Constitution that says only after the census, which will happen after 2026 delimitation, can then kick in. If the government is really candid and very fair about women's reservation, they can do it today. They did 370 in 1 day. They did demonetization in 1 hour. They put the lockdown in 1 hour. What's the problem with women's reservation? It's like a carrot that's dangling, but one which is not going to become a reality. So don't, undermine the combined intelligence of women in this country.
Sajja wants to intervene on that.
No, just one thing. And the other thing that I want to say is, I just want to remind this audience here, people change, their stances change with time. In 1989, when Rajiv Gandhi ji first brought the women's reservation bill for local bodies, which has today ensured 15 lakh elected women representatives all across the country that we should be very proud of. The 4 people who opposed it in Rajya Sabha were Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, Lal Krishna Advani ji, Jaswant Singh ji and Ram Jethmalani ji. So their stance has changed since then. We appreciate that. But don't betray women of this country. Don't undermine their collective and individual intelligence. It's a betrayal of their faith in you. I also want to say one line
it will be fair that if you give me time to Sajia,
Yes,
so that
okay.
he can reply.
So I want to ask the audience, if this is indeed such a betrayal of the women, why on earth were Congress MPs, I think 49 of them, voting in support of it? If it was such
Because
a
we
jumla,
stand for
let me
women's
finish.
reservation,
Let me call out your bluff. Let me call out your bluff. So why were you there? You call it a jumla outside, but in the parliament you all are there. Common sense census. You were there. Not just that, very clever. And not just that, and the bill that was passed in 2010, because where women's
We are the
reservation
original
bill is
architects of
concerned,
that bill. We will propose it,
1986.
we will support
Let
it.
me finish. Don't
You
get
should
so
have
excited.
got it for
Don't
women.
get so
Let her
excited.
finish it.
96,
Then I'll go.
98, 99, 2002, 2008, and then 2010. Sonia Gandhi could not make sure that there's common consensus on the bill. On nuclear deal, she could do it. Why? Why could she do it for women? No, let me finish. See, both of you are against BJP. I think I should be allowed to speak.
Shazia,
Let me finish. No, I have not been able to speak. I will not. I will finish saying what I'm saying. I will finish saying what I'm saying. I will finish saying what I'm saying. I will finish saying whatever I'm saying. I will not allow you to speak until I finish saying what I'm saying. I will finish saying what I'm saying. I will not allow others to speak until I get a chance.
Shazia, please don't turn it into such a chaos that nobody understands what all of you are speaking. So,
so I just wanted to finish. In 2010, it is the same Sonia Gandhi who could not get the bill passed. She got it done in Rajya Sabha and there was no mention of OBCs there. There she got it done. And why couldn't it happen in Lok Sabha? Because her partners, RJD, even now they're partners, and Samajwadi Party were busy tearing up the bill. Okay. Imagine.
Now, Supriya,
but on nuclear deal, US nuclear deal honi hai, tab sabko saath le lo. Lekin औरतों को क्या होता है? Which is why BJP came and made
Shazia,
sure.
You had spoken. No, please. Then allow Supriya. Then Priyanka will come back.
Supriya spoke. Supriya spoke. I was rebutting.
I will give you more time because you are two.
Shazia, there are women in this room.
Yeah, there are women and men in this room.
No, listen to me.
And there are women in this room in many places.
Don't undermine women.
Don't undermine women. You don't undermine women.
Look at
don't undermine women.
Look at any woman in the eye of your choice and say, it will happen before 2039.
Why how can you look at them in the eye?
Why could you not do it
how you try to delay it now? How can you lie? Shouting does not make it. Just because you're shouting doesn't mean you're telling the truth.
Never.
Just because you're shouting doesn't make it the truth.
Why have you put the two riders?
Hang on, please. Cool down. Priyanka will like to come.
Everything else. Why have you put the two riders? Ye explain kar do.
Okay, मैंने explain किया. Can I explain? So, see how smart my two colleagues here are. Just now they mentioned 82, Article 82, and then I mentioned and corrected my friend about 84th Amendment. They themselves know that where law is concerned, and this was spelled out in the Parliament.
Why could you not do it?
There are two of them. You should allow me to speak. Be decent about it. There are two of you on one side, there's me on the other. So let me say my bit.
So you are saying like the Delhi.
So 84th Amendment, I'm giving an answer. I'm giving an answer and they don't want to hear. 84th Amendment mandates. 84th
the Constitution.
Please, for a quiet moment.
Give a moment.
No, I will give it to you. Priyanka, you have your 1 minute, then I will come back to you.
Shazia
has a point. Shazia has a point.
I don't want to bring down the garima of women here, so I will not be part of it.
No, Shazia has a point.
I will be quiet. Let them speak. I will answer.
Shazia has a point because she is alone. You are two on the same side, so she will be given more time for that. That I agree.
Just explain. Give my basic answer.
If you also overlap, then I can't control. So first, then Priyanka, you give, and I'll come back to Shazia again.
Okay. So they asked me as to why this was important. Why it was important was the 84th Amendment ensures that any Janganna or census done before 2026 will not be possible. They did not even know in 2021 there was epidemic, because of which the Registrar General of India wrote that the census would be...
No, Priyanka, it is now your time. You can carry on. Please don't intervene, and then I will again come back to Shazia.
Government has time and again has violated Supreme Court judgments. This government has time and again amended constitution to suit themselves, like in the Delhi service bill you saw recently. But when it comes to women reservation, the constitution doesn't permit. We can't amend it.
You just said it.
Because the
Congress
did so. Why don't you do it? Do it now. You have brutal power. They have brutal power.
It's brute power, it's not brutal power.
Yeah, okay,
it's brute. With
Very
you it becomes brutal power. With us, it's majority.
Yes.
It's people's word. It is not brutal power. It's power of democracy. Power of democracy.
Anyway.
That is not brutal or brute power. Correct yourself.
Okay, fine. I stand.
Anyway.
You're full of venom, Priyanka. You can cut that down a bit.
Priyanka,
I am
Supriya has a point.
asking that women reservation.
इतना जहर ना निकालिए. आपका असलियत दिख गई. पार्लियामेंट में आपने कर दिया साइन. ना एक्टिंग ना कीजिए यहाँ पे आकर. ना कीजिए. नहीं चलेगी. ये एक्टिंग नहीं चलेगी. नहीं चलेगी आपकी.
I am now in the micro minority in this panel.
Look at this.
So please,
ये नहीं चलेगी. आपकी चालाकी नहीं चलेगी. नहीं चलेगी. ये एक्टिंग जो आप कर रही है ना यहाँ पे सब जानते हैं.
No,
एक्टिंग जो आप कर रही हैं यहाँ पे मैडम सब जानते हैं.
That nobody is understanding each other's words. So I think we should go back to the normal routine. Please, Supriya, you go and I'll come back to Shazia. You have to say
Tell
something.
her also not to get personal. It will be good for the debate. It will be healthy debate.
चालाकी नहीं चलेगी. नहीं चलेगी.
आप शब्द यूज करती हैं.
There, please, Supriya, your turn.
अब शब्द कह भी नहीं पा रही है बेचारी.
No, Priyanka, please don't.
Don't lie. I know it's
No,
difficult
Supriya,
for you
please.
too, but try.
That is your monopoly, madam. Lying is your
मुश्किल है ना, झूठ नहीं बोले कैसे हो
I
पाए?
think-
संभव
I think
नहीं
I
है.
think
झूठ
Supriya-
बोले बगैर काम ही नहीं चलता. तो भाई बोलना ही पड़ता है,
15 लाख
मजबूरी
आ
है.
गया.
ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको
No.
केजरीवाल ने
15 लाख
केजरीवाल ने ठगा नहीं.
Everyone.
ऐसा कोई सगा नहीं जिसको
Allow-
केजरीवाल ने ठगा
allow-
नहीं भाई.
Supriya and Priyanka, just give us 2 minutes. Supriya, you said. It's getting
Thank you.
confused now. Who is saying what?
No, I think on the women's reservation bill, the debate is closed. The government has passed the bill. It will one day, 16 years from now, hopefully be a reality. The women of this country are seeing through this. While you were passing the women's reservation bill, and I want to move away from this because there are too many topics to talk about. While you were passing the women's reservation bill, there was Brijbhushan Sharan Singh sitting in your benches, and the Delhi police has told the High Court today that he did not miss a single opportunity to harass women. That's the man who sat with you and passed the bill. Shame on you. I want to move away from women's reservation for just a bit. I think Shazia made a very important point when she said, Shazia ji, sorry. I take some liberties and I hope you're okay with it. She made an important point and she said, 50 saalon mein jo cheezein nahi hui, things that have never happened. She's absolutely right. In 70 years or in 76 years of being independent, we never had an MP stand up in parliament and abuse another MP with the choicest of slurs that I cannot repeat here. The party has not taken any action other than a show cause notice for 15 days. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha has not taken an action. What sort of parliamentary democracy are we living in, where one parliamentarian is abusing the other on the basis of his religion? The kind of things that have been said because he comes from the minority community. Please let me finish. He may have had whatever reasons, you can do the cover up, but nothing justifies the 4 words that he used for another parliamentarian. You did not just insult him, you insulted the community that he comes from, you insulted the electorate that elected him, you insulted each one of us because we elect MPs and send them to parliament to make policies and not abuse each other like they would do. और मैं हिंदी में एक लाइन बोलना चाहती हूँ. जो बात उन्होंने बोली, वो सड़क पर लड़ाई करते हुए 2 लफंगे बोलने में कतराएंगे, वो रमेश बिधूड़ी ने बोली है. Unless you think he was right, you should apologize on his behalf to this audience.
I'm just adding another line there. After that, 2 more MPs from your party had written to the Speaker, giving some kind of a defense to that what Mr. Biduri had said.
Ring fencing him.
So let me,
giving something.
okay, so first of all, I would like to say that the party has taken action.
No, I'll be happy.
I've heard you. Party has taken action. Nobody can condone or defend what Ramesh Biduri ji said. I think it was wrong. But I think it was also wrong what Danish ji said about Pradhan Mantri ki neech hai, neech jati ka hai, usko neeche rehne do.
He said remove
it.
It is very wrong. There. You are lying
it is
through your
very
teeth.
wrong.
You
What
are lying
Sanjay
through your
Nirupam
teeth.
said about Smriti Irani. About नाचने वाले घर की हो, यहाँ पे क्या कर रही हो. It is actually wrong. And I think all of these statements, whether it's from my party or Danish's party or it's from Congress party, they have no space. I'm agreeing to the fact and I'm not being apologetic at all about the fact that there is something wrong that has happened. Ramesh ji has crossed a line. He should not have. And those religious slurs sit very badly. But equally, having said that, all the casteist slurs on a prime minister who is an OBC, saying neech jati ka hai, niche hi rehne do isko, muttering it, mics are not picking it, but everyone else can hear it. And saying kind of filthy things about Smriti Irani in the parliament also is equally, and what Mahbuba Mohitra said, their partner, the gali she used, the gali, I think
Nobody
it cannot
has
be
heard any of the
condoned
things
ever by
I have a
anybody.
question to you.
So
I have a
I am
question to Supriya.
completely clear and democratic about it. Whether it's my party or your party, yes, you want to be outraged. I'm equally outraged. But this goes for all of them. And yes, while he must answer for himself.
I'm
And I
adding
really...
what Sazia has said to Supriya now. Beside that, how do you defend the Haryana State Congress president saying very derogatory remark about Prime Minister's family, I think yesterday or the day before? That is again...
I will answer that question.
Because
Haryana Congress, do you know what he said?
The
filth he said.
1 minute, ma'am.
No, they don't know. They're not aware of it.
Yeah, 1 minute,
They're not aware of it.
But
The
he
Haryana
did-
Congress president, the kind of filthy abuses he used, I cannot even repeat it for time to come.
Now, my
repeat what
question is that
Ramesh
if
Biduri
we
said?
have to...
Neither will I repeat that because that is equally
Then let's not
abhorrent.
go there.
Why not? It doesn't know. So, you will talk about one, but you will not talk about the other.
Will you allow
You will
Shazia
not
to
talk
ask?
about the other.
No, I have asked the question. I will allow Supriya to be answer.
I will answer your direct question on Haryana Congress chief
And
saying what he
India.
did. Absolutely. But I also want to point out one thing here. This yarn that is being spun, this story that is being circulated, nobody else heard it other than the two BJP MPs. And you know what was more disappointing? It wasn't what Ramesh Bidhuri said. Two things disappointed me. Sitting next to Ramesh Bidhuri were Ravi Shankar Prasad and Dr. Harshvardhan, known to be very civil, known to be a gentleman. He said all that he did, and these two gentlemen were smiling and laughing as if some great jokes were being cracked.
And when
Shazia,
Haryana
Shazia,
Congress president was
Shazia, I
abusing,
did not
using
speak in
filthy
between.
language, all of them,
I did
they
not
were
speak
clapping.
while you were
They were
speaking.
clapping. It's the same point.
allow
No,
her
she's,
to
no, you have
I
to
will
get
allow
out.
her to
while
you
the
were
sentence.
speaking.
She said that point. She's talking about Harshvardhan. She
I
did
am
not talk
coming
about
to
Haryana
the
Congress.
point about Haryana.
About Haryana
Have
Congress.
the courtesy to listen
Haryana
to it.
Congress.
No, Shazia.
No, why won't you do that?
After this,
Why won't you do that?
You must also say
Yeah,
about
why
the
she
Haryana
deflecting?
Congress
The
president.
filthy
that-
language
Shazia,
used by
I'm
Haryana
answering that.
Congress, by
Just sit
Sanjay
right down and
Nirupam,
listen
by
to me for
Mahua
a change.
Moitra. Has to be. And you're defending that? You're running
Okay,
away
allow
from
her
that?
to- no.
Shame on you.
Yes.
Shame on you.
Okay. Now allow Supriya also say about both this and the Haryana. I want to know that.
I don't know if you're hard of hearing, but I did say I'm coming to that. So just for your information,
But
I
you
will
did not
speak on
come
that.
to that.
Keep quiet. I'm coming to that because you started.
You're still
speaking
coming
in
to
between.
that. See, you
Keep
have
your
nothing
mic
to
down.
say. You have nothing to say. Yes, tell me what you have to say about the filthy
tell you
language,
what I have to say.
abusiveness
I
used
will
by
tell you
Haryana
what I have to
Congress
say.
president.
Yeah, allow her to speak. Yeah, please. Talk about the
Shazia,
Haryana.
if I get down to heckling you, you will not be able to speak a word. So don't heckle me.
Yeah.
You know that very
No,
well.
no, don't threaten me. Don't threaten me.
Don't do that.
Don't
If I
threaten
start
me.
heckling you,
It's
and
not
somebody
funny.
will pout me
Heckling
up.
somebody is not
No.
funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny at all.
Anyways, I will say two things and I will answer on Haryana because I feel very strongly about it. Because I don't think language of that kind or anything remotely connected to that is acceptable in Indian politics. I would like to apologize on his behalf. Is she willing to apologize
I
for
have
the Prime
already
Minister?
apologized.
Please wait.
I have given a
That is
statement.
not what
I have
I'm
already
saying. Now listen
apologized
to
on
me.
his behalf.
Is she willing to apologize for Narendra Modi calling Sonia Gandhi Congress ki vidwa? Is she willing to apologize for Narendra Modi calling Sonia Gandhi Jersey guy?
Will
Is
So-
she willing
will
to
Sonia
apologize to
Gandhi and you
Narendra Modi
apologize for calling
a married
Narendra Modi
woman
maut ka
50
saudagar
crore ki
or
girlfriend?
Hitler?
Are you willing
Yeah,
to
willing to
apologize for all of
Is
that?
this what is coming
Are
down
you
to?
willing
Do
to
you want it to be
apologize
like
for
this?
all of that?
Do you want it
No,
to be
you
like
are
this?
not.
No.
Do you want the debate
No,
to
you
be
are
like
not.
this? I'm asking
Let
you.
me just
No,
also
Do
say-
you want it to be like
No,
this?
no, I
Do you
will
want
also
it to be
say
like
this
this?
is not-
No,
you all are
if you want it to
talking
be
now.
like this,
I have
it's
to now
fine.
step in.
No,
I
do you
have
want
to
the
now-
debate to be
I
like
have
this?
to now step in.
Do you want the
Why-
debate to
when
be
you
like
are-
this?
You are leveling an allegation.
No,
There-
one second,
then
I'm not
allow her.
done. Let me make the
Okay.
argument.
Nalji,
And
I
there are
want to come
Priyanka
in
is
and
already
say
there.
something.
I have to give her chance
I
also.
want to say
Of
something.
course she can.
Priyanka is there.
Will
Now,
Congress
let me raise
party
the
and
argument.
Supriya Sunit
I will only raise the
apologize for the galis for calling him
let me
Hitler,
say.
कुत्ते का बच्चा,
I think you and I
छछूंदर,
agree.
नाग, हिटलर की जो हिटलर की चाल चलेगा वो हिटलर की मौत मरेगा.
So my
मोदी
question
तेरी
is now,
कब्र
Priyanka,
खुदेगी.
please.
This is what
मौत का सौदागर, not
Because
once
courts
but every
must
day,
follow
every day.
That is what.
They have abused
No,
Modi.
Shazia, I'm going to
He has been
Priyanka.
the most vilified prime minister.
Please help
and
me.
because she could
Can't.
not
This is
find
what
any
they do.
excuse for what a Haryana
is
Congress
courts
said,
No, Shazia,
she
please,
shifted the
please
topic.
for a moment.
The
I'll go to
discourse-
Priyanka.
Thank you.
After listening to both of them, such a senior personality.
I want to say
No, no,
5
I just
seconds. I want to
no,
say something
please.
because I was not allowed to say that. Please let me say that for 5 seconds.
Fine, but
I just
Priyanka is
want to
saying-
tell you
unfair to
people.
Priyanka.
I
I
don't want
just-
to
I'm
scream
going to
my way
Priyanka.
through. I can.
I just want to tell you people one thing. They talk about women's dignity. You know who started the BJP debate on women's reservation bill? A guy called Nishikant Dubey. He called a woman MP in parliament and a woman MLA from his constituency, Vaishali ki Nagar Vadhu. Do I need to tell you what that means?
No, that is
That's
not-
their respect
that is
for
not
women.
true. You know
Those
why
are the
they
kind
agree
of
with
people who
Nishikant
sit
Dubey?
amongst them
Do you know
and
why
make
they agree?
policy. Brajbhushan Sharan Singh will sit with them and make policy.
She's going to keep screaming, I can go.
Anyway,
I don't want to scream out.
I think
No,
I
no,
have
no.
to step in.
She's
No, I
shouting.
have to step in.
So,
Priyanka,
no, something has been said about
This is not fair to
something
you.
has been said about Nishikant
Thank
Dubey.
you.
He's not there. I must Nishikant
Yeah, he's
Dubey.
such a-
You know
he's
why?
such a champion
You know
of
why
women's
they're angry?
rights.
Wait.
You know why?
Speak about it.
Priyanka,
You know
Mike,
why?
no,
It is
Shazia, I'm stepping in now.
women's rights.
I'm
You know,
stepping in.
Nishikant
No,
Dubey
Priyanka,
actually called out Sonia Gandhi. They can't
Okay.
stand it.
Champion of women's
Sonia
rights
Gandhi
that
pulled
another
a collar.
shamelessly
Supriya,
defending
please,
his
please.
shameless
Cut the
idea.
tweet.
No,
I
no,
will
no,
say this.
that's not
I
fair.
will say this.
Priyanka, my
I
question
had
to
no
no,
politics. She has said
I
something
think
about
Shazia,
Sonia.
please for a
Shameless are
moment.
you?
I
No,
will
this
say
is
it.
going
I will
great
say it.
out of
I
it.
will
I
say
will
it.
have to
I
raise my
will
voice.
say it.
No,
I
I will
will
have
say
to
it.
raise
No,
my voice.
no, you cannot abuse
Priyanka,
and not
I will
to my
ask. No,
reply.
I'm just
I
going
have a
to
right to
your
reply.
reply.
I have a
That is
right
not
to
fair.
reply. I
Is it
will
fair?
reply.
Is it fair?
I have a
No.
right to reply. I will reply.
Okay, you will be given a
Nishikant
chance.
Dubé.
No, you
Why they angry with Nishikant Dubé and creating all kinds of stories? This is what they wanted to be.
Amazing. Priyanka, my question is going little ahead. Priyanka. By listening to both these personalities, now the hate or anything in hate, is it a new norm of Indian politics?
See, it trickles down from the top. When the Pradhan Mantri says, "Hum dangaiyon ko kapdo se pehchan sakte hain," then it trickles down on the road. When the Pradhan Mantri says, "Didi, oh Didi," there will be lucha lafangas on the road.
By the way, any problem with her
troubling.
microphone? You were listening? Okay, carry on. Yeah.
So, I believe integrity flows from the top, and so does treachery. And since 2014, I have heard the Prime Minister say very deplorable things for women, such as Supriya ji already mentioned. I've heard him speak, Didi, oh Didi. These are not ways to address women in a rally, even if they're your political opponents. I have seen him say, आपको शमशान चाहिए या कब्रिस्तान चाहिए. I have seen him say 80-20 की राजनीति. I have seen him say दंगाइयों को कपड़ों से पहचाना जा सकता है. So all of this trickled down on the road, and now it has reached our parliament. It is a new law under BJP. You know, if I were given a chance to speak about Mudda instead of this slugfest.
But this is your plan, that when I speak, these two will heckle me, and when she speaks,
Now you can.
I'm decent,
Now you can
and I'm not heckled.
No,
Is that the way? Is that how you want to do it,
apply.
Pranal? I'm asking you. Is that how you want to conduct this debate?
You
You want her to heckle me when she's speaking,
Okay.
I'm speaking.
You
This is
are
how
the-
the debate will be.
You can stop.
Is
Allow her
this
to
how
speak.
you want to do the debate?
What have they done for
Is
women?
this how you want to do it?
What have they done
Allow
for
her
women?
to speak now. When
Except
you raise a question, allow the government.
Okay, so before that, because when these two started heckling, what is the reason why they were heckling? Because they don't want any of you to know that Nishikant Dubé, and please take out his speech, why was Nishikant ji chosen to speak that day? Nishikant ji Dubé remembered what happened in the parliament in 2010. When Sonia Gandhi saw that one of RJD and one of Samajwadi Party MPs were there trying to tear up the bill, how she caught by the collar the Samajwadi Party's MP, and who's a Dalit MP, by the way, snatched his collar, and this is her behavior towards OBCs and SCs. And because he pointed that out, and Sonia Gandhi did not deny it because it's there for everybody to see. And that's the reason why they're making up stories about Nishikant Dubé ji. That he said this, he said that. But the fact is, he called out Sonia Gandhi, and the way she picked the collar of the Samajwadi Party Sansad, Dharmeer Singh, who actually was a Dalit. So it's a matter of a great shame that just to offset that and see the bad behavior, because it trickles from the top. That's where it comes from. The elitism, the casteism, it comes right from the top.
On Dalit people.
See, that is the reason. I
That
just
is
wanted to
what
make that
their
very clear to all
trickle-down
of you.
effect.
And that's why he was chosen to lead the debate.
So can I come in? I did not speak while she spoke endlessly.
Well, she did.
We are not two peas in a pod. I want
Right
to say
now, when it comes
something.
to heckling, you become
I
two peas
did
in a
not
pod.
speak in between. Offer me the same
But of
courtesy.
course, in Punjab and Delhi, it'll be very different. But right now, you can be two peas in a pod.
Anyway, carry on, Supriya.
Shazia ji, we gave you your first election ticket.
You gave me. I made the party.
No.
I gave the name
No,
Aam Aadmi
please,
Party. I made the
please.
party. Who are you?
Allow Supriya to speak.
Nishikant Dubé said whatever he did on the floor of the house, knowing fully well that he enjoys privilege. Any of you sitting here, and I ask any of you sitting here, you can say 1,000 things about me. You can say 1,000 things about Shazia ji. You can say 1,000 things about Priyanka ji. You can say 1,000 things about Modi ji or Rahul ji or whoever. Can any of you ever imagine Mrs. Gandhi doing what Nishikant Dubé says she did? Narayan Swamy was presenting the bill.
Nobody
snatched-
could defend it
I
in the
did not
parliament.
speak in between.
They did not have answers.
No,
Till
that's not fair.
now,
Shazia, at least
Congress
allow
party
her
has
to
not been able
complete
to
the
deny it.
sentence so
It's
that you
there
can
for everybody
reply.
to see. No, you're prolonging something.
No,
Let's
at
hear
least
Shazia
allow her
on
to
Manipur
sentence.
also.
At least allow her to complete
This
the
is the
sentence.
debate
It's
we're
not fair.
having.
I understand.
This is the topic of your debate.
No, there are so many things where that you all started
but,
there.
I really have to go in 7
No,
minutes.
I have another 20 more minutes.
We'll be happy for you to leave. Please do.
No, please, don't go.
You will not ask me to leave.
You just said you have to leave in
You
7
will not
minutes.
ask me to leave.
Don't
You're
get it
nobody to
personal.
ask me to leave.
Don't get it
Between-
personal.
No.
Don't do
I
that.
did not speak in between. I have to finish my
Finish your
point.
sentence, then Shazia again
So
you are getting
all
more
that
time.
I'm saying is that Nishikant Dubé on record has called a female parliamentarian Vaishali ki Nagar Vadhu. He has called an MLA from my
why you
party
are
and a
repeating?
friend of mine Deepika Pandey, Vaishali ki Nagar Vadhu, that to me, and I hate to say this as a woman amidst all these men, means a prostitute. Should a man like that, A, be in our parliament, B, start the women's reservation bill? Debate from BJP? Are you not ashamed of it? Do you not want to say what he said about these women was wrong?
You have asked the question.
That, would you put your heart on your heart and say it was wrong? Would you do that? You can keep mimicking me, Shazia. It shows how debased you are.
Anyway, Supriya, you have asked the question.
I'm just saying the lies.
No, Supriya asked the question. Now allows Shazia to reply.
The women MPs of the BJP.
No, that's not fair.
Now. The women MPs of the BJP keep quiet on Manipur. They keep quiet on Hathras. They keep quiet when India's most decorated athletes sit there and protest.
Quiet in rapes
going to talk about
Rajasthan.
women's reservation.
They keep quiet
Not
on
a word
rapes in
came from her
Rajasthan.
mouth on
They keep
Manipur.
quiet in rapes
Not
in
a
West
word
Bengal.
came from
They
her
keep
mouth
quiet on
on
rapes in
athletes.
Kerala.
Not a
But
word
they only
from
want to
Braj
speak
Bhushan.
because for
Should
rape
Braj
for
Bhushan
them
be
is
in parliament?
weaponization
Should
of
Braj
women's
Bhushan
bodies.
be in
Are we
parliament?
part of this
Yes
singing
or
match?
no?
Are we enjoying it?
Braj Bhushan
No,
be
I
in
don't want to be a
parliament?
part of it.
Supriya,
This is what you want to do. I don't want to be part of this
It's
slanging
not
match.
fair.
I don't want to. I want to do it properly,
Yeah.
friends.
Huh.
If you
I
can't
return
handle
the
that,
favor.
if you
I
can't
return
handle
now.
it.
Supriya,
I
you have
return
not done.
the favor.
No,
I am
Supriya,
done
it's
now.
not fair.
हाँ
It's
या ना
not.
में ये बता दो
No,
ब्रज
it's
भूषण को
not
पार्लियामेंट
fair.
में होना चाहिए
Supriya, it
या
is
नहीं
not
होना
fair.
चाहिए
Allow
हाँ या
Shazia
ना
to
में अगर
speak.
हिम्मत
No.
है तो हाँ या ना में जवाब दो
No, Shazia ji. Supriya, it is
I have
not
no
fair.
interest in
Shazia,
speaking.
no,
Please,
it's not.
both of them can
At
carry the
least
debate.
2
I'm
minutes.
sitting
No,
nicely.
neither say a
that's
yes
not
nor a
fair.
no.
It is
You
out
can
of
neither
control
say a
now.
yes
No,
nor a
Supriya,
no.
allow
Shout
allow
more.
Shazia to
Shout,
reply.
No,
Peacefully
shout,
you
shout,
reply.
shout. Bring it up. Shout more. Go, do it. Let everybody see what you are.
Yes.
Shout more, shout more. No,
Nahi,
I want to
Shazia.
encourage
No,
you.
now it's time.
Encourage
You are
more. Scream
wasting-
more. Scream
you
more.
are wasting your
Scream
time.
more.
You
Defend
are-
how
you have.
Sanjay Nirupam abused Smriti Irani in the parliament. Defend that. Say the kind of filth has been used. Say what kind of
Braj
things have
Bhushan
been said.
Sharan Singh,
Defend
yes
Samajwadi
or
Party
no?
against.
Should he be in
against
parliament?
No, I will not.
Should he not be in parliament?
Supriya, it's not
Yes
fair.
or no? That's what we want to know as
Supriya,
women.
it's not
What
fair.
do you as a
Allow
woman feel?
Shazia to
Yes
finish.
or no?
Allow Shazia to finish her sentence.
You
No,
could not
I'm
prevent it
requesting
this
you.
time, Renalji.
No, please,
It's obviously
Priyanka,
ineffective.
please
I will
don't
not.
interfere.
I'm very
Please
happy to
allow-
be quiet.
allow
Let- I
2
don't-
minutes.
See,
No,
when I
Priyanka is
scream,
okay,
I
fine.
tell you why. When I scream like this, because in answer to get myself be heard,
No,
then
no,
I
that's
feel
not
it.
fair.
I feel
Moral high
it
ground.
No,
it
that's
brings
not
down
fair.
the
Heckling
dignity of
us
women.
both.
So let it
ये
do it.
moral
I
high
will not
ground
bring
मत
down
No,
the
that
dignity of
is
women.
not.
तो मैं यहाँ
Because
बेचारी
people
नहीं
will
That's
call
not
us
fair.
and say it's a
कोई
cat
बेचारी
fight.
नहीं हो आप।
And I don't want
Moral
it to be a
ground
cat
मत लो।
fight. Go
Yes,
on.
Sadia,
Please have a cat
please.
fight.
Heckling,
I will
carry
not
on.
be a part of it.
Supriya,
I'm
please
not a part of this,
don't-
sorry.
don't interfere
I'm
for 2
sorry, I
minutes.
will not be a part of it.
No,
I'm very
that's
happy
not
to sit
fair.
here
You are-
for my
all of you are
quiet time, but
senior.
I will not speak.
Sadia, you speak. No, I'm allowing you to speak for 2 minutes. You're not speaking.
asked you earlier, I can't speak like
from
this.
the
It's difficult for me.
No, it's not. Supriya, you're not. No, please don't interfere.
I will not allow anybody to play the victim card. Sorry. She heckled us all. She cannot play the victim card. What nonsense is this? She heckled me constantly. Now she's playing the victim card. Arey, don't speak if you don't want to speak.
Yes.
Because you can't defend.
has no
तुम हाँ या ना
answer.
नहीं कह सकती हो
She has no
ब्रजभूषण पे.
answer on
क्या
Opposition
बोलोगी तुम?
Vs Nda
असलियत ये है. हाँ या ना ब्रजभूषण पे आप कह नहीं सकती. आप क्या बोलिए?
और चीखो और चीखो चीखो और चीखो
नहीं, आप बताइए।
भी चीखो बिल्कुल
अंकिता
मिलके चीखो
भंडारी के बताइए,
मिलके
आप
चीखो।
बताइए
Let's
मणिपुर
shout
के
and
बारे
scream
में।
down.
No, come on.
Let's keep
Answer.
abusing. Let's not
Why
answer
is
any
Braj
questions.
Bhushan in the
Don't let
parliament?
anybody do
He
it.
is
Keep doing
touching
it.
the
Keep doing it.
athletes at
Keep
every
doing it. It will
opportunity
not have
he
any
got.
effect.
Tell
Keep
us.
doing. Scream more.
Braj
Scream
Bhushan
scream
Janata
louder.
Party.
Scream louder.
Why
have to
are you
scream louder.
supporting
Scream
him?
louder. Yes, very good.
They
और
won't
चिल्लाओ.
have an answer.
और
They don't
चिल्लाओ
have an
और
answer.
चिल्लाओ.
They want you
और
to
चिल्लाओ.
celebrate
Very good.
that
Well
will be
done,
reservation in
Priyanka.
2039.
कितनी चिल्लाई तुम.
Keep
Wow,
quiet.
well done.
Keep quiet.
Well done.
Why are you heckling?
See,
They're
अब आपकी
shameless.
स्टार्ट हो रही है. Well done.
Shameless. They're
Well done. और
shameless.
चीखो और चीखो.
Women's safety under this government. Yes, please.
You are all taking out your personal vendetta and your political campaigning that whatsoever is happening here. We are not here to waste our time, ma'am. Please, with all due respect, let us enjoy this conclave.
Thank you.
We had so many panels here consisting of Northeast people. None of the panelists have screamed the way you all have. We have so much of respect for you
Thank you,
all.
ma'am.
Thank
She is a teacher from Delhi
I'm
University.
really glad you brought this to the table. Let's maintain some decorum. Let's not heckle each other. Let's not play the victim card.
Yeah. Thank you very much for bringing. I'll come back to
I
Priyanka. What
definitely-
was being said outside called fringe by all kind of hate speeches by anybody, now it has from the fringe, it has come to the center. And in a time when we have a rover moving in moon, and we are talking something so derogatory Are we not pushing the country back into the war days? I don't know when. I mean, even the old days also it was not bad,
That's
definitely.
for all to see. We saw the women in Manipur paraded naked, their private parts touched, and no action. Internet suspended in Manipur for so long. Yesterday I saw there was a protest in Uttarakhand with respect to Ankita Bhandari's murder case, and there were women who were going bald in protest because there is no action. There is no action you will see against Ramesh Bidhuri, who used the kind of language he did.
So they had given a Sokos notice. It's fair.
Sokos notice is not action enough. We were suspended. You will remember Sanjay Singh ji was suspended because he raised the question of Manipur. Raghav Chadha was suspended because he proposed a parliamentarian's name. And this is, they have only been issuing show cause notice. You will see what happens in this country. If you question anything, action is taken against you. This has changed after 4
Sazia. Now some
so Raghav Chadha was suspended because he forged the signatures of four BJP MPs.
See Priyanka, you were speaking, Sazia was silent.
But this is incorrect information.
No, this is correct information and they can Google and find out. Two and most importantly,
Sazia, you go ahead.
Two and most importantly, how women's bodies have been used and weaponized is something to be learned from hypocrites sitting on the either side. When there are rapes in Rajasthan, they are quiet. They look at a woman's body who's raped, they see which state it is happening in. If it's a BJP-ruled state, they will talk about it. But if it's not a BJP-ruled state, they will keep quiet. It doesn't matter. So women in West Bengal, and we know, but even NHRC took notice of that. If women, right now the highest number of crimes, rapes against women are happening in Rajasthan. Just 3 days back, 2 Dalit girls were literally gang raped and they were hung to die. No FIR was done, but nobody will mention it. Why? Because rapes per politics karni hai. And I think that is a matter of great shame.
Very important from Sazia. Rajasthan or West Bengal, similar things are happening, and they are always, India is being accused of going slow and soft in responding those states way you do in an Uttar Pradesh or a BJP ruled state.
Please don't use women's bodies.
Allow reply. Supriya.
So I want to ask you a
Rajasthan
question.
rapes. No, Supriya will speak.
This time you are not doing well. Supriya.
So I want to ask you a question. In Rajasthan, in Bengal, in Bihar, or even in Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh, do any of these states have a viral video where the government takes no notice unless 78 days have passed? Do any of these states say that law and order has completely broken down? I'm talking about BJP ruled states as well.
So
Don't
what?
speak in between.
There's no viral video that means the rape has not happened?
I did not speak in between. Give me the same courtesy at least.
No, Sazia, I am helping you. Allow her to finish the
viral
line.
video is not there. Doesn't mean rape has not happened.
Those
women don't deserve anything because in Rajasthan.
Government did not suppress
So you will not take it up because simply because the Dalit women in Rajasthan and there's no viral video. So that rape is a rape. All rapes are equal. What do you mean by this? I think something horrible just got said. She said that we will only take up if there's a viral video. Imagine the respect you have for women that is saying only if the woman is raped and there's a viral video. Will you take action on it? It's a matter of great. I'm shocked. As a woman, I'm shocked to hear Supriya say that only if there's a viral video of the rape will we take action.
I am trying to help you. Allow her to
this is
finish
very
the
important. I heard it.
Everything
you
is important.
Please follow it.
Allow her to finish the sentence so that you
but
can
I heard
reply.
what she said. She said
That
there's
is,
no
you are
viral
not
video
following the
of the
normal
rapes in
protocol.
Rajasthan.
No,
Women are going from pillar to post. So there's no viral
allow
video.
the
We will not speak on it.
Allow
because
the
why Rajasthan has the highest number of rapes?
Yes.
And why people there in the parliament say मर्दों का प्रदेश है, मर्दों का प्रदेश है. And why समाजवादी party? Why समाजवादी said मर्द है, मर्द का काम करेगा. Why?
Then I will allow her to go.
Why Azam Khan says जय प्रदा क्या पहनती है सारे के नीचे वो ठीक है. Why Sanjay Nirupam says what he says about Smriti Irani? I mean, come on, very convenient. Very convenient. Very convenient. No, I'm sorry.
This question
a rape is a rape. And if it's happening in Rajasthan, even if there's no viral video, Ashok Gehlot should take responsibility. And Supriya should apologize for it. Shame.
Allow now. 2 minutes
How
of Supriya.
many of you here believe that I heckled her or is she heckling me? I started speaking, she started heckling me.
Don't do all this
How many
stupid
of you
politics
believe yes
here.
or no?
Answer
I
the question.
did not say
Answer
a
the
word.
question.
Now
Don't do all
shut
this.
up and listen to me.
Shut up. Look at the language.
Listen to me now. Because you're not
See,
allowing
look
me
at the
to
language.
speak.
Look
I
at
kept
the language.
quiet. Yeah,
This is
because
it.
you're not allowing
Language
me
की
to
बात
speak.
कर रहे हैं. Language
चुप
की.
हो जाओ यार, बात
पकड़ी
करने
गई
दो.
आपकी चोरी.
The
पकड़ी
reality
गई.
is that unlike Manipur, No other state in this country, including BJP-governed Rajasthan, BJP-governed Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, have seen complete breakdown of law and order. No other state in this country has seen people looting arms. 5 lakh गोलियां मणिपुर में खुलेआम लोगों के पास हैं. 6,000 arms and ammunitions are with people. The chief minister has said not one, but hundreds of such cases have happened. How dare you do the whataboutery on rape? Shame on you as a woman and shame on you as a politician. That's your problem. The reality is you did not say a word on Manipur. The reality is
We've
you
all
do not say
spoken
a
on
word on
Manipur.
Hathras.
Even
The reality is you do
even
not
now,
say a
the
word on
shameless,
Shahjahanpur.
the
reality
shameless
is you do not
spokesperson of
speak for our
Congress
women
party,
athletes.
who
The
is screaming
reality
away
is
to glory,
you only want
is
to
not
do
speaking on
whataboutery.
rapes in Rajasthan.
Anybody in this
Not
country
talking about rapes in
who is going to
Rajasthan.
compare
Not at all.
Manipur to any other state is really living in La La Land. Is Manipur's situation comparable to any other state in this country? Answer a yes or a no. Shame on you. Your so-called double-engine government has failed the people of Manipur. And how dare you come here and do whataboutery on rape? Shame on you as a woman. It's a blot on you as a woman.
You are
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
No,
because
that's
you
not
were
fair.
doing
Don't be
exactly
so
the same.
personal, Supriya.
So I'm just returning a favor.
Don't be so
I
personal.
am just returning the favor. She does not allow people
So
to
we
speak.
heard,
You can
we
keep
heard,
doing the whataboutery
we
on
heard
rape.
a shameless
The
Supriya
reality
Srinath
is
not
a
say a
woman's
word about
body
the
is
rapes in
her own
Rajasthan.
and not
Not
for
one
anybody to
word
be
did she
touched.
say. While
Oh,
we
shut
all
up,
have spoken on
Shazia.
Manipur,
Shazia,
including the Prime Minister.
you are a
Be
blot
quiet
on
now.
your
What
woman.
is this?
That's
You
exactly
want,
what you
I have
if
a
you don't
question.
want me
I
to be
have a
there,
question.
if you don't want me to be there,
I
then
have
listen.
exactly
you
this to
please.
me, so I will
No,
not
why
go
don't you
on.
have
I'm trying to
I
assist you,
kept
Supriya.
quiet.
No,
I
am
kept
only.
quiet for the entire time she spoke.
I am
She
adding.
kept talking the
I am
moment
adding
I
a
started
question
speaking.
to your
Not-
Manipur.
No, boss, not
No,
happening.
I am adding. It's just a question.
No.
I am adding a question on Manipur.
Gandhian,
Allow me.
But I will not put my other
No.
cheek forward. You're going to
Sazia,
slap me once,
Sazia,
I'm going to slap you 10
it
times
is
over.
now
No.
Sazia, there's no
She
point
heckled
debating
me
one thing
throughout.
that
I am
no,
also going to heckle
there's
her
no
now.
point debating in one final over the last so many months. Manipur, you have
You
absolutely.
are comparing Manipur to some other part of the
So, yeah,
country.
we discussed
Their own
Manipur
CM
even
says
when we
so.
started,
Their
and
own
what
CM
Prime
says
Minister
so.
has said, what the Home Minister said, has all been
36
there.
seconds.
But
That's
I
how
was
much he
talking
spoke
about
on Manipur.
Rajasthan rapes,
After
and you
78
see how
days
cleverly
and
she
a viral
turned the
video.
debate.
A
And this is
viral
what we talk
video
about.
made the
Those
Prime
women
Minister
don't
of this
matter.
country talk.
Rape doesn't matter. A woman does not matter. Her dignity does not matter. It's only politics that matters.
5 months.
It's only
Where
politics
is the
that
Prime
matters.
Minister?
It's only
Why has he
Prime-
not gone to Manipur? It's
What
been
is
5
this?
months.
No.
5 महीने हो गए. प्रधानमंत्री का
भाषणबाजी है,
जहाज मणिपुर
भाषणबाजी
नहीं
है।
जाएगा. प्रधानमंत्री का जहाज फ्रांस, अमेरिका, इजिप्ट, ग्रीस हर जगह जाएगा, मणिपुर नहीं जाएगा. हाँ या ना? इस बात का जवाब दीजिए. The Prime Minister of this country has been 5 months.
You have asked the
वो
question.
चीखने
You have
चिल्लाने का मैं
asked the
हिस्सा नहीं
question.
बनना.
Allow.
Why
allow
does the
her-
Prime Minister
No, allow her. No,
not
Supriya,
like
you have
मैं
asked the
हाथ बड़ा बड़ा
question.
करती बदतमीजी
You
से
have
नहीं
asked
बोल
the
सकती.
question.
मेरी
आप
तहजीब
सबने
मुझे
देखा
इजाजत
आपने।
नहीं देती आपका
Let me
जवाब
tell
देने
you,
के लिए.
सबने
नहीं, आप
देखा
तमीज से
आपने
बात
पैनल
कीजिए.
में क्या
आप
किया है.
तमीज से बात कीजिए.
Don't heckle.
तमीज से बात कीजिए आप.
ये
Sazia,
आप-
your turn.
तमीज से बात कीजिए आप. बिल्कुल
क्या कर लेंगे
नहीं.
आप?
बिल्कुल नहीं. आप क्या
क्या
कर
करेंगे
लेंगी?
आप?
आप क्या कर
Why are
लेंगी?
you talking
तमीज
like
से
this?
तो why are you talking
आप
like
क्यों
this?
बदतमीजी
Look
कर
at
रहे
you.
हो?
That's
You have
not
no
Supriya.
answer for rapes
No,
in
no,
Rajasthan.
no.
They
No,
have no
that's not
answers
fair.
for rapes in
See,
Rajasthan.
what
The highest number of
in the
rapes in
process,
Rajasthan.
you both of you
Ashok
are-
Gehlot,
No,
Sonia
no.
Gandhi is quiet.
Yes,
She has
go ahead.
nothing to say. Sonia Gandhi
5
pulls the
months
Dalit MP. She has nothing
and
to
the
say.
Prime Minister
Women
has
are getting
never
raped in
gone to
Rajasthan. Nothing to
5
say.
months.
West Bengal
Where
rapes
is the
happening.
Prime
Nothing to
Minister?
say.
Women issues.
Why
Prime
you should
Minister
use
will be in
Manipur
Egypt.
for
He will be in
politics.
France,
That's all.
He'll be in UK.
You don't
he'll
care
be in
about
Greece,
rapes. You
he'll be
don't
in
care
America,
about women.
But not
Please,
in
Supriya.
Manipur. Not in Manipur, 5 months and counting. The Prime Minister doesn't believe Manipur is a part of this country
Now, can we
where
go?
he needs
Can
to
we
go
move
and
on?
win people's
Can we
trust
move
back.
on from this?
That's the reality.
Can we move on after this great debate, and this is going on not here, everywhere? 2024 is not far away as far as election is concerned. They are extremely confident of unsitting you.
People are saying
you have not
2024
replied to my
and
original
they're certainly
question.
not voting for them.
Are you asking me?
No, her. They are showing
I
extreme
have
confidence.
to find my way screaming and say that's the only way to
No,
come
thing
to
is that
debate.
I am not being able to reach out to you because in between there is Sazia. So I will
don't
go
think
to you.
your audience is enjoying
Sazia,
this
you have
either.
not replied to my original question. I'm coming back again to you. How do you see it? They are all
Just let me know,
overconfident.
should I start heckling you now or will you heckle
How
me and
do
then I
you
return
see
the favor?
overconfidence of, I will get confidence over whatever
It's
mean,
not funny.
of
It's
India?
quite cheap, actually. The way you're behaving, Supriya, it's not funny. It's quite cheap.
Really?
It's quite
You
cheap.
are going to give us certificates on who's behaving
It's
badly.
cheap. Everybody
They are
knows
not
it's cheap.
replying the main question.
Ask
It's
this
cheap.
audience.
It is very cheap.
Ask them to raise hands.
Doesn't
Ask
matter.
them to
I
raise
know
hands.
cheap.
Debate on
Everybody feels
content.
it. You might have your supporters here, but
Have you
achieve what you
listened? None
do.
of them are giving my
It's
reply.
very
They're
cheap
all
what you're
fighting
doing, so
their
let
own things,
everybody
but they're
speak.
not
Be
saying
decent.
how they will fight 2024. The basic thing is this is the hate are going to be sold to us again and again by almost all the political parties with their own agendas, and see how it does. Thank you. I'm sorry to say that. I've been trying to tell that so many times, not fair. We have the question and answer session also. There are so many of them. And this is going endless. I can understand how strong and vicious it will be till we reach the election day.
Yeah, as long as you don't
Let's go to
heckle each
questions
other,
and
it'll be
answers
okay.
then, because
I have some Q&A.
Yeah.
And all the students are there from Delhi University. They just had an election which was not very favorable to BJP. Oh, sorry, favorable to BJP, not for the Congress.
Of course it is. We won vice president and secretary. What do you mean it's not favorable?
But historically, whenever the majority say wins by the
some
whoever
will
party,
win, some
it
will
is
lose
by
some. What's the big deal?
anyway.
You're giving value judgments, blanket.
But all these questions are now anonymous. So how do we do?
You have them on your WhatsApp.
I have somebody here also. See, one thing, many of you have not given the question answer name. How do I find you out? I have given my name. Okay. You guess, Niloy. Microphone can be passed to him.
Hello. Yes, I'm Nilay Das. I'm a concerned citizen. And we know how MPs behave in the parliament. Basically, each MP's Lok Sabha at close represent 10 lakhs of people. And Rajya Sabha is an eminent house. And still, I thought that we'll see a glimpse of what happened in parliament. We have seen full film here. That is the main paining the ordinary citizen like us. You are wasting taxpayers' money in parliament. So can we bring a bill that MP's salary plus all perks and allowances should be deducted, irrespective of when they disrupt the house in the parliament? Can BJP and Congress build this bill?
The answer lies in the whistles and the clapping, I think.
I think I really respect your sentiment. I think as a concerned citizen, I share your pain, I share your grief, I share your concern. I also share the concern that large parts of this country have with no debate, no discussion happening in parliament and bills being thrusted upon you. That's exactly what happened with the 3 farm laws that came, which eventually had to be withdrawn. That's what happened with CAA. It's been 3.5 years. We've not seen the rules notified. Any bill, even the women's reservation bill for that matter, if it had gone to the select committee or the standing committee of parliament, it would have been a different law. People would have put together their heads and said, let's do it now. Let's create history for women of this country. So I absolutely agree with you. There should be a lot of discussion. There should be a lot of debate. But disruption, I hate to say this, is now happening at the behest of the government. The government doesn't want the house to function. So what do you expect the opposition to do? Put their fingers on their lip and sit in
there
parliament?
is no supplementary.
That's not going to happen, sir.
I have a question from Shubham Agarwal. Where is the microphone? It's called Sajia Elmi, directed to Sajia Elmi.
Where is the person? Oh, okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you for the successful passage of the Women Reservation Bill. Ma'am, my question is that can we foresee the legalization of gender budgeting after the passage of Women Reservation Act, because it will lead to the holistic women empowerment, not only politically, but socially and economically?
Yes, I think a lot more needs to be done. And I think in the last 9.5 years, I mentioned all the things in the central welfare schemes that affect and impact women, whether it's water, whether it's Shauchalaya or Izzat Ghar, whether it's cooking gas. And this is a divide that Prime Minister Modi ji has worked on, which was there. So these are basic things we're talking about. Also, in the direct benefit transfers, as well as the central Awas schemes, where it is about providing a roof over your head, all the names and all the beneficiaries are in the names of women and not their husbands, so that they have a more dignified and a better life while they are taking care of the children. But I think later on, gender budgeting is extremely important. And I think with so much happening, whether it's maternity leave going up and the contribution of women, we have to look at how there has to be a better gender budgeting, keeping in mind the woman in the center of a family or a unit as a unit of conditioning. So I totally agree with you, and I think it's a very important question.
Next question from
Can I just add a number to what he
by
said?
By the time Supriya answers, I also urge Arindam Bhattacharya to be ready and come for the mic.
I just want to add some numbers to what you said on gender budgeting. You know, the central government has always had women's schemes. I don't know if all of you are aware, I'm sure some of you are, there's a huge scheme that the government of India runs, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. It has an 884 crore budget. Only 153 crore has been spent out of that. 80% has been spent on ads. The Nirbhaya fund, 30% of that lies untouched. I will also tell you, as far as
Nirbhaya fund was to be used by all the states. And where Nirbhaya was raped, in the state of Delhi, it was not used by the Delhi state government.
Yes,
These are central funds. So this goes for all the states, not the center. So I think she's confused about it. State-wise, center gives a fund and the states take care of it.
Shazia, what's the size of the union budget?
State does it.
Next question is for Supriya.
What's the size of the union budget?
I'm not answering you.
Please.
You can answer
No,
them.
next question is for
You can be
Supriya.
quiet for a
Because you
change.
don't even know what the size of the
That's a
union
question
budget
for
You
you.
can be quiet for a change and listen
Please,
to others.
Supriya, your question is yours. And I'm sure this question will not be answered by other panelists. Supriya.
Since you are a former journalist, how do you see the move by United Opposition to boycott certain journalists? We know that BJP also did that in the past. But if you are also doing that, what's the difference between you and them? And what's the logic?
But before you answer, Tanmoy does, you get ready.
Sorry?
Tanmoy does, you get ready. Next question.
Okay.
Yeah,
As far as that question is concerned, I think it's a decision that we took with a lot of pain because we stand for media and independent media. But media that is going to use you as cannon fodder to serve hatred in your drawing rooms every evening, we don't want to be a part of that. We are not boycotting channels. We've just said these particular anchors we don't want to engage with because 9.9% of their 99.9% of their shows are all Hindu, Muslim, are all polarizing. We don't want to be served as cannon fodder. It's a choice that I'm making. I am not
So
saying
this was the party that threw journalists in the jail. Emergency. And now they're talking about freedom for media. And this is the same people. Anna Hazare movement. They were the ones who are throwing us in the jail, whether it's Anna Hazare or Baba Ramdev. Or whether it's Asim Trivedi. We all know that. And
This
also
question-
emergency.
I was still answering.
No, this is not fair. There is a question coming to Supriya, the targeter. And let her finish. Next question may be for you, ma'am.
So I think the anchors can choose what the topic of the debate is going to be. We are not handing them topics. We are saying, okay, whatever you want to do. But I don't want to go to shows that are decided by somebody in the PMO through a WhatsApp. I have a choice. And my choice is I would rather spend the time more creatively on social media or on some other show. I will not participate in debates.
She wants to
that
go
are
on
going
shows
to
decided by
polarize
Sonia Gandhi.
Society.
Thank you.
Only
Tanmoy
those
does.
shows.
That probably
really
one of the
cheap.
penultimate
Only
question.
those shows.
Where
Sonia
is
Gandhi
Tanmoy?
बताएंगी क्या
Stand up.
करना है.
You carry on your
You've shown
question.
your cheapness.
Tanmoy
It's all
does.
for everybody to
Go
see.
ahead.
The whole
Don't
world
wait.
knows. सबको पता है.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hope I am
Yeah, you
audible.
go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah. So my question is not specifically to one of you, it's a general question. I'm a student
I'll
of
go
Indian...
ahead. Priyanka may reply.
Okay, so I'm a student of Indian politics. So how has been the current stage of political vocabulary and how it has evolved impacted the Indian politics at large? The way certain communities are represented, the way ideas have been communicated by politicians, the way how issues have been addressed. So how has the current stage of political vocabulary and also a genealogy of how the political vocabulary has evolved since our independence impacted the Indian politics?
Thank you.
So has it led to greater polarization or has it led to well-being for all, a holistic well-being, or has it led to a greater polarization?
How can it be this?
Priyanka, before you reply, for the last question, Nidhi, you should prepare. I don't know the title, only Nidhi.
I think I have no qualms in saying this, that since 2015, the politics has not evolved. It has definitely devolved. We are not talking about issues, definitely. If you just take at Assam, for example, the Brahmaputra flooding is an annual issue. So what has been done about it? I am not sure what has been done about it. If you look at the schooling system in Assam, I'll now specifically talk about Assam. 91% students don't have a computer till date. 34,500 teacher vacancy. These issues are not being talked about. You saw here also they're not being talked about. We have Brij Bhushan Janata Party defending the rights of women and you're all falling for it. You're enjoying it. That is what has happened here, what we saw. So I would definitely think that we need a change of government so we can talk about issues. We can come back to electrification of the 2 lakh villages in Assam that are still not electrified so that we can talk about education. Only 2% of GDP is spent in our country. It has constantly reduced. The health research budget has been constantly reduced. Nobody is talking about this because we are enjoying the Brij Bhushan Janata Party's
1,000 crore spent by Aam Aadmi Party for their own Gurgaon in the last 3 years.
Again a lie.
Delhi people's money. 1,000 crore.
Why are you
and for corruption. I think
I will
Manish
not
Sisodia,
allow the-
Manish
this
Sisodia has
question
been
to be
denied
speak
bail
about.
at the
Nidhi, where
Sessions
are you?
Court, High Court and
You know,
Supreme Court.
Engaging
So they should
women
tell us about corruption.
Bus conductor
They should
today,
Anna
bus
Hazare
drivers
movement se
today.
nikli हुई
Anyway,
party.
Please.
Pro
Nidhi,
corruption.
My last question.
Sharab घोटाले
The next
पे.
session,
You should be doing that. That is the
Biswama
communication they should be doing.
will be starting soon.
No,
So
sir,
Nidhi,
Hi, this
Nidhi.
question is for Supriya ji. As you mentioned that about traveling to Northeast, I have one question. Ever since independence, ever since Congress was in charge of India and Northeast, how many times leaders, the Prime Minister has visited Northeast? As per me, in the regime of BJP, Mr. Modi has visited Northeast more than 40 times, I would say 60 times. Their MLAs have been reaching out. There are 400 meetings all across. And in terms when the Manipur happened, I know that was a bad phase, but Honorable Home Minister ji was there for 3 days handling everything. So how many times Congress has done that?
thank you.
You have asked me a question. I think I should respond to it. And my name is Supriya, just clarifying here. So I will answer your question exactly the way you have asked me. I'm very happy that Mr. Amit Shah went there as Union Home Minister. He stayed there for 3 days. He came back. He did not even get to know about this gruesome crime that had happened. That is the kind of intelligence and law enforcement failure that Manipur has seen. Let me finish and then you can ask me a counter question. The Prime Minister of this country during Manipur and after has been to America, France, Greece, Egypt, many other countries, has not gone to Manipur. I don't know why. Maybe you are a better judge of it. As far as visits from the MLAs and 400 meetings are concerned, what has it resulted in? There was shooting that was happening at the borders of Assam and Mizoram. We are seeing what's happening with Manipur. We know exactly what's happening with Nagaland. Nobody even knows of the accord. You keep asking the government in parliament. They're not willing to tell you. Do you believe we are safe within the country? I don't think so. And I think in its naked pursuit for power, the BJP has compromised with our internal security.
So
And
when
let
there
me
was
ask
a
the
debate
question.
in Manipur,
Let me
My
ask
answer
the
still
question.
not answered question.
As far as
Nidhi,
my
I'm
Prime
stopping
Minister
you.
was concerned, as far as Dr. Manmohan Singh was concerned, Khojar in Assam happened. He went there. He addressed the media.
how many times
He
did
came
Nehru,
back and made a
Manmohan
statement
Singh,
on the floor of the
Sonia
House.
Gandhi,
Has to
Rahul
come to
Gandhi
an
go to
end.
Manipur?
Thank you.
No answer, no answer.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. It was a very
answer.
tough session. Thank you very much. Anyway.